Recording. All right, welcome all. Welcome to our Wake Up PSA movement. Yes, part of this, and we have these deep dive sessions each and every day. And all right, welcome. And every month we have different amazing themes. And this entire month, we have the love and relationship mastery. Yeah. Yes, as part of our Energile Earlybirds, we have a very big mission to create the new leadership for the new era, to how we can amazingly awaken the new you, and how we can really stay consistent in building the lifestyle of a happy, healthy, harmonious, wealthy, abundant, and freedom lifestyle. Freedom at all areas of our life. Yeah. And we follow certain core code of honor here, to stay 100% committed, 100% taking ownership in our life, and 100% responsibility. Yeah, the ability to respond and not to react, and how we can take charge and jumping into action by playing full. Yeah, and with that leadership ingredients, including being self-reliance, yeah, and learning and taking ownership on our own and being on our own. Yeah, improvement starts with the innovation, starts with the initiative, starts with the inspiration, starts with the impact, starts with the, there are many I words, and how we can really step into that zone, right? The amazing productive zone where we can really completely play full, and being a self-reliant leader, being a committed leader, being a committed decision-making leader, and how we can really be a courageous possibility thinker, yeah, and always looking and thinking in a brave manner, the brave thinking, possibility thinking, being and feeling the complete resourcefulness that you are enough. Yes, my dear friends, we are enough, and we have we are born with that abundance. Maybe we want to just find out what is really stopping us from playing full, and identifying those layers, and then getting them out of us. And that way you find the core inner you, and the pure, unapologetic you, the amazing, powerful you, the unique you. All right. Whereas the you, I see it as another acronym as your opportunities are unlimited. Yeah, how we can really untap our inner potential out, so that we can completely play full. Yeah, and then making this entire divine as our accountability partner. Yeah, the mutual accountability. When I say accountability, any experience it happens to you, or you are just going through, for example, including this experience, if you are ready for the transformation also is ready. Yeah, means if you are really ready to learn from the infinite resources which is available, even it could be the experience which will really make you, or really will not break you. It will basically if you are ready to learn a lesson from that, in case if any challenge you are going through, that means there's some sort of that pattern around it, and we want to just see that either that area needs certain attention, a new way of looking at things, or there are certain areas where we need to really learn, or get into that wisdom. And means wisdom is nothing but the applied knowledge, right? How we really apply. So knowledge alone is not powerful, the applied knowledge is powerful. So with that mode, we want to, how we can really experience the life with a fulfillment, a complete fulfillment. Yeah, so we take this journey for a very long time, and many hearty congratulations to all the consistent action takers. All right, as one part of it, we have been doing this book breakthrough for a very long time. Yeah, even before our this series also, for more than 2-3 years. Every Friday is a book breakthrough Fridays. Means even if you read a book, you listen to a book, even if you get some insights from the book for each week. Yeah, if you look at it for 52 weeks, 52 books, right? Minimum. Yeah, at least minimum. That's the whole idea. Whether people read books or not, at least they get that kind of an exposure. At least they get to swim through another dimensions, yeah, greater dimensions. We pick the books which are very, very close to the heart to the reader. I mean, the person who presents the book to, right? Whereas it's a kind of breathing. I used to say in Tamil, I'll try translating. Yeah, Nesittu, Pusittu, Vasittu, Puttahangal means the one which you really deeply have a connection with that book, whereas the book has already made some transformation. Yeah, so just pick the book. Could be anything which will really make you and get you into a total different higher dimension. All right, how many of you are excited about it? Just type excited in the comment box. Yeah, that about this particular book. Yeah, and how to love. Yeah, this is from a special series on how to live by this amazing author. He's a Zen master, right? Thich Nhat Hanh. Yeah, that's his name. And he has written many books on the mindfulness essentials. Yeah, how we can really. And then with this book, he really brings his signature clarity. He's always a very amazing person with respect to bringing a clarity, compassion, and sometimes even humor, in the book. In this book also, yeah, he has written. So the book collection, which I said, which has the How to Live, which has multiple, around 6 books, and like how to sit, how to walk, how to the kind of how to series, but in a kind of, we do it every day in every way, but how we can do it differently, how we can do it so mindfully, that's what the book really talks about. So with this, he is asking certain essential questions on how to love. Yeah, I'll start with those questions. They're very powerful questions, and with the offerings on being in love. Yeah, including the physical intimacy with the loving ones, the children, the family, friends, crushes, and much more. Yeah, love is a lot beyond that. Yeah, the loving the nature, loving your life itself. Yeah, the whole perspective. And how to love also includes this book. It's a tiny little book which also has certain meditations. You can do it alone or with your partner to expand your capacity to love more. And let's just get into it. So like I said, this author is one of the best known Zen teachers in the world. He was living enlightened master even a few months before, and then I was really I remember the times I had a deep dive in his boot camps and his thought works and things like that. So especially he has been teaching the different mindful practices for more than 70 plus years. Yeah, and so there are a lot of books, but today I'm going to just talk about this particular book. Yeah, the How to Love. All right, so let's start. So this book, just to give a kind of overall view around it, these are his notes on love, and maybe the outcome from his meditation and his deep work in working with millions of people, and how we can really understand what is love and how we can really keep our heart, like a river. He says, if you pour a handful of salt into a cup of water, the water becomes undrinkable. Yes, you all agree? Yeah. And then, but if you pour the salt into a river, people can continue to draw the water to cook, wash, or drink. Yeah. So the river is immense, and it has the capacity to receive, embrace, and transform. Even when we keep our hearts that way. If we really keep our heart very small, then our understanding also is small. Our compassion level also is small. It's very, very limited. And then that's where more sufferings happen in life. Yeah. And why people are not able to tolerate, people are not able to accept the environment in respect of however the challenging or why, I mean, the more and more we enhance and keep our heart much, much wider, the more and more would be able to experience the life. Yeah. So it says we cannot accept or tolerate others and their shortcomings, and we demand that they change. They need to change. Yeah. Only when your hearts are small. And but when our hearts really expand, these same things do not make suffer. It will not bring any suffering anymore, because we have a lot of understanding, lot of compassion, and we can really embrace others with that widening of our heart. We accept others as they are, and then they have a chance to transform. So the very big question to all of us is, how do we help our hearts to grow? Yeah, how many of you are getting it? Just give me one. I can just add a comment that, what is your, how we can help our heart to grow so that, it can have that expanded, like having the heart like a river, which accepts, it just keeps moving, it really expands, which is just making the space wherever it travels so beautiful. Yeah. And how we can really feed our love. Yeah. Each of us can transform the art of nourishing happiness and love. Everybody has that. Each of us, very powerful. And everything needs food to live. The same way, even love needs food. Yeah. And how we can really feed the love. It needs, when we feed and support our own happiness, we are really nourishing our ability to love. Yeah. And that's why to love means to learn the art of nourishing our happiness. So the love has a direct relationship with our happiness, not just ours, even the ones whom you really share those love. Like I said, the love towards the nature, love towards your loving ones, love towards your own life, the self-love included. Yeah, basically that has a major space. So understanding, the word understanding is the nature of the love. It is the core of the love. Yeah. And understanding someone's suffering is the best gift you can give to another person. Understanding, yes, love's another name. That's how the author says. Yeah, it is the name of love, but in a different name. And if you don't understand, you cannot love. Isn't it awesome, my dear friends? Isn't it awesome? The same way, how we can really recognize the true love. The true love gives us the beauty, the freshness, the solidity, the freedom, and the peace. The true love includes a feeling of deep joy that we are alive. If we don't feel this way, when we feel love, then it's not true love. So the true love always thinks about the freedom, gives the freedom, feel the freedom, share the freedom, and share the peace. And it has the beauty, it has the freshness, it has the solidity. Yeah, it has that deeper understanding. Yeah, and that's how the love needs to. And there's a tradition in Asia of treating your partner with the respect you would accord a guest. Yeah, this is true even if you have been with your loved ones for a long time. The other person always deserves your full respect. The reverence is the nature of our love. Yeah, many times we treat the guest who comes just once in a while, or maybe rarely, and we treat them with the utmost respect. How do we treat our loving ones, whom we see each and every day, or who have been taking the journey with us for a very long time? Yeah, I can just give the love symbol through the reaction. Yeah. And the love is always expansive. And he says, in the beginning of a relationship, your love may include only you and the other person. Yeah. But if you practice the true love, very soon that love will grow and include all of us. The moment love stops growing, it begins to die. It's like a tree. If a tree stops growing, it begins to die. We can learn how to feed our love and help it to continue to grow. So love always means expand, even as we see even in our Energile coaching sessions, that life is like the spiral. Yeah, and even though it starts as a small dot, and I wouldn't even highly say that, yeah, with the self-love, and then it just further expands to the family, further expands to friends, further expands to the extended friends and family, or the society, further expands, like our coaching community is a kind of ever-growing community, whereas and he talks about, yeah, it's a kind of spiral growth. I mean, just to have an analogy in mind, right? And the love is organic. Love is a living, breathing thing. There is no need to force it to grow in a particular direction. Many people, do that mistake. And if we start by staying easy and gentle with ourselves, we will find it's just there inside of us, solid and healing. Yeah. Often we get crushes on others, not because we truly love and understand them, but to distract ourselves from our suffering. When we learn to love and understand ourselves and have true compassion for ourselves, then we can truly love and understand another person, as we have seen in yesterday's session. And how deeply you love yourself, how deeply you understand yourself, how deeply we really know our own boundaries, our own past hurts, the unhealed inner past. There's a lot of things, right? So just talk about, the author also, goes a little deeper at the surface level, still, very, very subtle way about how we can really have that kindness in love, how we can really find the true, he talks about the 4 elements of true love. Yeah. One is loving kindness, the compassion, joy. Yeah. And then he talks about equanimity. Yeah. Equanimity means the kind of equal, and at the same time you have you really treat with a complete respect and still feeling that kind of closeness, right? And he says, if your love contains these basic things, it will be a healing and transforming for the people around you. Yeah, the true love has the power to heal and transform any situation and bring deep meaning in our lives. Yeah. And then so he goes through that, what is joy, what is compassion, how we can really get into the state of inclusiveness and having a non-discrimination, and how we can have and build a deep relationship, right? There's no longer if we can really see, for example, he says that you are her and she is you. If your suffering is not your suffering any longer, it is her suffering or his suffering. And if the his or her suffering, like the one whom you love, your joy is his joy. And if you find the suffering in another person, you'll see that how you can really get that suffering out. Yeah. And for which you need to really, really understand and think on that person, how you really know. And your presence can become a gift for the people around you. Yeah. And it's like how the fresh air is coming, how the the springs of flower are blooming, how the bright blue sky is coming, how the moon is coming, and which is making us, into a melting state. The same way, we'll be able to generate the joy through the love, generate the compassion through the love. When I say the compassion, you can really transform even your own suffering to help transforming others who are going through it. So if you are going through some challenge in your life, when you have the love, when you really pour the love, you would be able to understand others' pain and pleasures, and then see that how you can really heal that person. Yeah. Whereas you will not be addicted sharing about your suffering, whereas you use those to heal and transform yourself as well as others. Yeah. And how we can really be very beautiful to our inner self, how we can really have that respect, how we can really have that trust. Yeah. And how we can, because these are very, very important in any friendship, love, on the respect, deeper respect and deep trust. Yeah. When trust is lost, everything is lost. How we can really, be, I used to say in our Energile, coaching that, it's a kind of, bank, like a trust bank, and how much we really, how wealthy, we keep the trust with us. Yeah. And with others. And the more and more it reflects on how you love yourself. Yeah. Means, as we have seen in the beginning of our sessions also, is about, are you really accepting yourself as you are? It's a very, very important thing. Yeah. If needed, just practice building, practice just, making your world really, really unique and beautiful, that, how much you really accept yourself. Many times we don't accept ourselves. Yeah. Or we have lots of resistance, lots of things. So the love, what, how we can really feel is like, flowering, or kind of, watering the plant, and how we really, for example, like, he says in one word, dear friend, your flower needs some water. It can be, not just in the outer garden, even for the inner garden. Sometimes, a good friend, yeah, just sees within, deeper within in others' perspective, and then seeing whatever needs to be done, and then the quick transformation you can just, do it. And then it's talking about the power of hugs. Yeah. And how important it is. And he's explaining one thing. I'll just, read out for you. In 1966, a friend took me to the Atlanta airport. When we were saying goodbye, she asked, "Is it all right to hug a Buddhist monk?" In my country, we are not used to expressing ourselves that way. But I thought, I am a Zen teacher. It should be no problem for me to do that. So I said, why not? And then she hugged me. But I was quite stiff. While on the plane, I decided that if I wanted to work with friends in the West, I would have to learn the culture of the West. So I invented hugging meditation. Hugging meditation is a combination of East and West. According to the practice, you have to really hug the person you are holding. You have to make him or her very real in your arms, not just for the sake of appearances. Patting him or her on the back to pretend you are there, but breathing consciously and hugging with all your body, spirit, and heart. Hugging meditation is a practice of mindfulness. Breathing in I know my dear one is in my arms, alive, breathing out. She is so precious to me, or he is so precious to me. Yeah. If you breathe deeply like that, holding the person you love, the energy of your care and appreciation will penetrate into that person, and she or he will be nourished and bloom like a flower. Amazing, right? And then talks about how the body, mind, what sort of spiritual way of looking at love, and how we can really develop and everlasting spiritual intimacy. It brings the word like a spiritual intimacy, and how we can really have that sort of spiritual intimacy within ourselves and with others. Yeah. And when it comes to the intimacy, there are three ways, right? So one is a physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, and the spiritual intimacy. These three always will go or should go together. Yeah. And all of us are seeking some sort of emotional intimacy. Yes, high five. Yeah. And we want to have the communication so real, so authentic, so truthful. And so that we'll be able to have the mutual understanding and also have this communion. The commune, the Latin word means common, yeah, and the common understanding. In the same way, it's a kind of communion, and we want to be harmony with someone. How we can really build the harmony? Only when we have that kind of intimate relationship with respect to the emotional intimacy. Means you'd be able to even explain others even without even words. Yeah. Or the way you really travel the life together in a way that it is very, very meaningful. It's a very healthy, very healing. And can we really make it? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Yeah. He also talks about another one. I'll just briefly share about that also. He says, say, empty sex. That's how he calls it. Means the sexual desire is not love. Yeah. The sexual activity without love is called the empty sex. If you satisfy your body, but don't satisfy your heart and your mind, are you satisfied? Do you feel whole and connected? When your body, heart, and mind are satisfied, the sexual intimacy connects you more deeply with yourself and your partner. And especially in love, yeah. Loving someone doesn't mean saying yes to whatever the other person wants. The basis of loving someone else is to know yourself and to know what you need. I know a woman who suffered very much because she could not say no. From the time she was young, whenever a man asked her for something, she felt she had to say yes, even when she didn't want to say it. It's important that loving another person doesn't take priority over listening to yourself and knowing what you need. Yeah, that's also a very supreme love. Like that's how we say that self-love is a supreme love. Whereas it should really know what to say yes and no. Yeah. And then in a polite and neat way. All right. Yeah. Just in the interest of time, I'll just go a little I'll cover a few more elements, and then I'll come with those 20 powerful questions. Yeah. And in any relationship, how you really share the same kind of aspiration. When you share that aspiration, even though it may or may not matter to you, but when you understand that other person loves it, likes it, and adores it, and there is no, you're not going to say that, oh, I didn't like it, or you like it, but I didn't like it. No, sometimes even we don't need to say, it's just my personal opinion. When you're going to a restaurant when you have some food, the other person really loves it so much. But if you really show your face little strange, oh my God, I don't like this food at all. What sort of communication you're sharing with that other person? Yeah, unknowingly we will be communicating that way. Yeah, with our loving ones. We want to just be watchful. And if it isn't kind of the aspiration, one is about sharing the same aspirations. Another one is in case the other person has something better than yours. Yeah. And there is no longer a place for jealousy. Yeah, the real love doesn't have the space for jealousy. And rather, in our Energile coaching style, we say that either it's a 2-point agenda. Either get inspired, be inspiring through your actions, through your way of being, and through your authenticity, through your complete the pure core you, the unique you, that unapologetic you, I say, and then showing it. And at the same time, you'll be able to inspire through your inspired actions, or just get inspired. Yeah, no more jealous there. Yeah, in case if other person is doing something better, maybe he or she is doing something unique, something different, or something where you can really apply, learn, or you can just move on. Yeah, if it is not yours. And we share everything, but we still have our freedom, yeah, in both. And that love is not kind of a prison. That's the main point. Yeah. And many times the love has been misused, mismanipulated, actually has been manipulated. And the true love gives us lots of space. Yeah. And then, how we can really communicate with our loving ones, how we really listen with the patients, how we can really breathe, to avoid any argument. Sometimes the argument comes, yeah. And then he says, let me just read it out for you. Everyone knows that blaming and arguing never help, yeah. And in Energile coaching, we say very strong saying no to few things. How many of you remember? Just post it here, yeah. Any of you remember? There are there's a kind of important thing. We say that saying no to certain thing. Yeah, clear no. Any of you can just post it. Let me check in the chat box. Yeah. No complaint. No blame. Yeah, no guilt. Yeah, super. No jealousy. Okay. Yeah, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Then I'll say, what are those 5s? Yeah. I don't know if you may even type. Okay. So, and no dull moment and no assumption. Yeah, many times, rather assuming, just ask. Yeah. No blame. And also no back talk. It's very, very important. If at all, you need to talk about someone, and you can just directly convey that appreciation, or a kind of, the improvement needs, with the love or with the sincerity, with the kind of thing, rather keeping it as the side talk. Yeah. So that's what he says about one thing about how everyone, because these are very, very simple things, friends, but the more and more we really apply in our real life, you will see a total shift. Just declare yourself that, yeah, no complaint for the next 30 days. Yeah, it's easy, right? We can just declare, and then just sticking with that one thing. Yeah, so no complaining about yourself, no complaining about others, but rather the same complaint you can say, I used to say, right, in a fun way, come plan, yeah, not complain. Come, let's plan to make it better. Yeah, and it's a kind of together journey, rather making it a one way. Many times all this one way communication breaks the love. Yeah, and how we can really make it in a very open, transparent, and subtle way, right? All right, coming back, yeah, what the author says about to avoid an argument. Yeah, everyone knows that blaming or arguing never help, but we forget. Yeah, conscious breathing helps to develop the ability to stop at that crucial moment. Yeah, take that deep conscious breathing. That's what it says. To keep ourselves from saying or doing something we regret later. Yeah. Practice. That's why, you should not take any temporary decision to make a permanent damage. Yeah. So practice conscious breathing when things are going well with your partner. Then it will be there for you when things get hard. Yeah. And how we can even listen. Yeah. For many times we don't listen. We jump and then, get into criticizing their words. Yeah. When your loving one is talking, just practice the listening very deeply. Sometimes the other person will say something that surprises us, that is the opposite of the way we see things. Allow the other person to speak freely. Don't cut your loved one off or criticize their words. When we listen deeply with all our heart for 10 minutes, half an hour, or even an hour, we'll begin to see the other person more deeply and understand them better. Yeah, if they say something that's incorrect, that's based on wrong perception, we can give them a little information later on to help them correct their thinking. But right now, just listen. Yeah, let that flow happen. That's what it says. Don't stop the flow and don't divert it. Yeah, and how that love can help you to come out of any sort of complexities, and how having the high self-esteem also is a sickness, he says it. Yeah, because you consider yourself to be above others, and that causes suffering as well. Beautiful, right? And although equality is something good, it can also be complex, because when you say I am as good as he is, you still think you have a separate self. When you compare two selves in each other, suffering will result. That's other thing also we say, right? Not to compete or compare, rather collaborate. Yeah. And suffering will result. So real liberty is freedom from all these complexes. So we want to understand these are the complexes, which are making the love more harder. How we can really safeguard our love from this. Yeah. So not to look at you, like compare you, or even through your words or other ways that, putting others down, or either showing you as an experience or whatever. Yeah. And always, having that kind of, mutual love, respect. All right. Yeah. Just in the interest of time, we'll just, move on. And then how you can really be a healer. So there's a word in Sanskrit called karuna, right? Like karuna in Tamil also we say. That karuna means many times people translate it as a compassion. Yeah. But it is even more deeper. Yeah. It's a capacity to remove and transform suffering, not just to stare it. Yeah. And how a lover is a real healer, like a doctor, right? And you can really understand the cause of your loved one's suffering in order to help them relief. So we want to really identify that, what is really causing them the suffering, rather looking at them sad and frustrated or feeling bad. Yeah, many times, that affects the people. And rather looking at that, what are the pains and pleasure which they are going through, and what really causes it. What would have really made them this way, and how you as a lover, as a healer, you can bring the smile back in your partner. Yeah. And how not to discriminate, how you can really ask for help, and helping even without other person asking. Yeah. All these are the different ways of loving. And also how we really appreciate with the sincerity, how we are even committing for the other person, even before they commit. How many of us really cherish such friendship where they are looking on your behalf, they are really thinking on your behalf, Yeah, even before you ask for it, they are able to give you that. Yeah, and they really will be able to find the need and just just filling the need without even asking, without even you demand for that. Yeah, and love as a giving, how we can really even allow others to make mistakes. This is another important thing. Many times we don't allow others to make mistakes, or even if one mistake is done, gone. For the entire life talking about it or thinking about it or feeling about it, how we really let go, how we really even with our loving ones, even we want to be comfortable in making the mistake. Yeah, not that conscious knowing mistake, but we need to really allow people to improve, as we say even in our Energile coaching, that is work in progress. Everybody is work in progress. I am work in progress. He is work in progress. She is work in progress. That is work in progress. The universe is work in progress. Yeah, everything is evolving. And once we know that kind of thing, we'll not be really wasting our time in arguing or putting into judging others, or we'll be really, really coming out of it. Yep. And now let me get into those questions. Yeah. So before that, I'll also talk about another one, from this author. He talks about the human body, the beauty of the body. Yeah, many people have their own self-shaming. I think yesterday we covered up to a certain level about do you really accept your body by yourself as your own gift, because it's just there with you, and accepting its skin tone, or the way it looks, even the shrink. What is that? As we get age old, what we'll get? Shrink. Oh, I got the word. What is that on a piece?
Wrinkles.
Yes. Okay. And how we really, do we really accept us as we are? Yeah. So the human body is one of the most beautiful things that you can see. That's what the author says. And we need to practice treating such beauty with reverence. Yeah. Perhaps we are afraid to contemplate the beauty, and that's why we don't treat our bodies and the bodies of others with respect. Beautiful, right? So it says, sometimes it talks about the loneliness and sex. Sometimes we think that if we have sexual relations with someone, we will feel less alone. But the truth is that sexual relations don't reveal the loneliness. There is a Vietnamese poem in which the young man has the impression that he must sit very close to his beloved to relieve his loneliness. We have the impression that if we sit close to each other, we'll feel less alone. If we are separated by 5 meters, that's too far. 4 meters is better. 3 meters is still better. But even 1 millimeter is still too far. When our bodies are very close, we feel it will relieve the loneliness. But if we don't share our aspirations and what's in our hearts, then even if we live together or have children together, we can still feel very alone. So what he says is, having the kind of heart full of love is the deeper intimacy. Yeah. And the kind of emotional intimacy, is another word, I can remember as a kind of takeaway. And how even, among the couple, how deep listening is happening among the couple. Yeah. So he says about that, then I'll move on to those questions. So when I met a couple who live together and are happy, I proposed that they set up a regularly structured time of deep listening to help them stay happy together. Yeah. The deep listening is, I think, even though it's for a couple, you can treat it even for your friends, even for the children, even for your siblings, yeah, and even for your, the work relationship as well, right? With certain people, will have, more. There's a book called Never Eat Your Lunch Alone. Yeah. Especially for all the people who are working, and I highly suggest that book, because when having the understanding within our friends, family, it's different, but a work relationship, there's a less emotion, right? Or no emotion sometimes. And then we want to still understand others, and we want to have that kind of thing. So never eat. I mean, the people who eat together stay together. There's a saying, and it's not about eating food alone, right? It's about sharing. It's about listening. It's about understanding others' perspective. And we want to really do that. The same way, that's a kind of deep listening. I say that. I have that. Especially. I'm also practicing that most often. Either we go out for a long walk or a long drive, or at times we even get into with a cup of coffee or something. Just getting into the deck and looking at those beautiful trees, and then having some deeper conversation on certain topics. It could be even raising the children, or our own aspiration, how we can help each others to live their best version, and what are their aspirations, what are their the other person's bucket list. Yeah, it can be anything. Yeah, maybe there is some particular place where she wanted to visit or he wanted to visit, and whatever. Yeah. And or maybe there is some sort of deeper desire that that person wants to do before his or her end of life, that wanted to really make it happen. How you can really help that person to make the dream into a reality. Yeah, it can be anything. So coming back to this, so deep listening is most of all the practice of being present for our loved ones. Yeah, we have to be truly present for the person whom we love. Means truly present means getting away from the phone and being completely be present. Maybe neither looking eyes to eyes, or kind of holding the hands and whatever. Yeah, and being truly present for the person you love. In the person we love, there is a suffering that we haven't seen yet. If we haven't yet understood that person, we can't be their best friend. We can't be someone who is able to understand them. It is like when an excellent musician finds someone who understands his music. Beautiful, right? How beautifully he says. They can become best friends. Someone who can understand our suffering is our best friend. Yeah. We listen to each other. We are there for each other. Otherwise, coming together of two bodies becomes a routine and monotonous after a time. If we have the impression that you know the other person inside and out, you are wrong. Are you sure that you even know yourself? Every person is a world to explore. It's an amazing line. I really love it. Every person is a world to explore. So many times we don't know even we ourselves, then how we will really make a judgment that, yeah, I understood the other person completely. No way. That's why we are all working in progress. And then the background is different. The perception is different. The way of looking at things is different. The taste is different. Yeah, everything. All right, then we'll just get into those gift of 20 questions. Yeah, how many of you are ready? Just give me a thumbs up. With that, we'll conclude today's session. Yeah, hope you all found it useful. Yeah, how many of you love it? Just give one love symbol here. Let's see. Yeah, and those who are listening to this, recording later, just post your takeaway here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I love those love symbols. Yeah, beautiful. Heart. Let's fill it with more heart. Love it. Thank you, friends. All right. So the 20 questions, the powerful questions for looking into your relationship, can be for any relationship. Okay. If you need to note it down, or just listen to the replay later and note it down. For sure, this is going to help you. Are you in love? That's the first question. Are you in love? The second, are you still in love? Yeah. Are you still in love? The third question. do you want to reconnect with the person who used to be the one you love? Many times, people, this is a very deeper question. I think we have covered in the past also, we'll be covering in future also, that the person before getting married, or just the first meet, or the first movie went together, or the maybe the first few months of marriage, are you really treating the same person with the same love and same respect and the same thing even throughout the life? Yeah, it's a question. Yeah. And Bharati says a beautiful says that, இன்று புதிதாய் பிறந்தோமே என்ற எண்ணம் அதை தென்னமுறை செய்து கொண்டு தின்று விளையாடி புற்றிருந்து வாழ்வீர் தீமையெல்லாம் கலைந்துவோம் திரும்பி வாரா. Which means just feel yourself that you're just born today, just and then just eat well, be healthy, be fit, and enjoy the life as if you're just born today. Yeah. And then all the sufferings and things, everything will be gone. It will never come back because we live each and every day. Okay, coming back. Third question. Do you want to reconnect with that person who used to be the one you love? Okay. Do you think that this person is happy? Do you have the time for each other? Have you been able to preserve your true presence for yourself and for the other person? Are you capable of offering him or her the freshness every day? It's not just, looking at the other person fresh, new, and like just got married or just met those, the friendship day, just from the same freshness what we have in the past. And it's also about how you are showing your presence with a total freshness every day, like offering, capability of offering him the freshness every day. Do you know how to handle the suffering in yourself? Are you able to help handle the suffering in the other person? Do you understand the roots of your suffering? Are you able to understand the suffering in the other person? Do you have the capacity to help the other person suffer less? Have you learned the way to calm down your painful feelings and emotions? It's a self-healing. Do you have time to listen to yourself and your deepest desire? He's not even asking, do you listen? Do you listen to yourself? He's asking, do you have time? Are you really dedicating time for yourself? Yeah. Do you put you into a priority? That's what I was saying. Do you have time to listen to him or her and to help him or her suffer less? Are you capable of creating a feeling of joy for yourself? Are you capable of helping the other person to create a feeling of joy? Do you feel you have a clear spiritual path? Do you have the feeling of peace and contentment within yourself? And the conclusion question, do you know how to nourish your love every day? Isn't it amazing, friends? The list, yeah, beautiful list, right? And I'll conclude, this session with this powerful 6 mantras for love. Yeah. One is to communicate one or other way that I am here for you. The second one, I know you are there and I am happy. I remember, Kannadasan's song, அந்திப்பகல் உன்னை நான் பார்க்கிறேன், ஆண்டவனை இதைத்தான் கேட்கிறேன். What it means is, I see you day and night, and that's all I needed. Yeah, and I pray God only that, just that. Yeah, and your presence, just your presence is enough. The same way that I am here for you and you are here for me, and I am really happy about your presence. Yeah, and even here in our Energile coaching we say, right? Yeah, and we are with you, infinite power to you. Yeah, it's about showing and being part of it. That's why I say that I highly recommend not to feel that kind of separateness in any way, that we are one. Yeah, and this coaching has a very big vision of uniting all of us together, building together, and that's why the kind of coachability, teachability, because then only we'll be able to really grow, build together. Yeah, high five. All right. So the third mantra, I know you are suffering. The fourth one, I am suffering. And we can silently, secretly, or even openly say, darling, I am suffering, please help. Yeah, it's a very, very nice thing. Yeah, and also to give them the strength that, hey, I know you are suffering, that's why I am here for you. You can treat it even with kids, adults, children. And then this is a happy moment. It's not just a wishful thinking. It's not a suggestion. It's about recognizing. It's about how lucky each of us are there with each other's company, presence, and cherishing that moment. You are partly right. Yeah, means in either way, when someone is super happy and then really congratulating you as if you are the top of the world, and just saying that you are partly happy, not that I'm just completely putting my ego into that and then going in blues, but rather you are partly right, saying or feeling it within yourself. Even when someone criticizes you, you can follow the same mantra, that you are partly right, that yes, everybody has their own weakness and strength. Everybody is, working on certain struggle. And once we understand that, everybody is work in progress, the way we look at life will completely be different, friends. Yeah, with that note, we'll just, conclude. This is such an amazing book. And the other collections also, maybe whenever time permits, we'll definitely do it. And here's a lot of other titles also. He has written books on the happiness and like I said, how to eat, how to sit, how to walk. Those are the other collections from this. And teachings on love is another thing. When you have time, and I can just listen to that. I'm not sure if there are audio books for that, but I highly recommend you buy that book. He is such an amazing person. I'll have all my love for him. Especially I always love living with the living enlightened masters, means being a part of it. Just out of my, just sharing a kind of, or I'll share it in one of the personal breakthrough sessions in future. I had that opportunity of being in that blissful state of many living enlightened masters. And that is really given. I mean, when I say being not just sitting with them and doing, but very taken even when they are alive. So one such experience is Vedatri Maharishi, or you just name it, like just travel those paths. Either it's whether it's Isha Foundation, whether it is Brahma Kumaris, whether it is various things. But I started my journey with this amazing master, Vedatri Maharishi. Yeah. And the kind of deep seeds what I got during my student age was really it's really is still growing in me, I can say that. And there are many. So one such masters, the global masters, is this Thich Nhat Hanh. Yeah, beautiful, amazing person. Thank you. We love you, Thich Nhat Hanh. Yeah. And with that, anybody want to just say quick takeaways or sharing, feel free to just unmute and say. Then we'll conclude. Yeah, being a Friday, we took a little extra time. Hope you all thoroughly cherish these moments. And you will make these recordings available. Yeah.
Good morning, Mahendiran.
Happy
Good morning, everyone.
morning.
Yeah, thank you so much for the share. This is a great topic, and whatever points that was shared here, it's like even though we know everything, it's some of them are hard to implement things, but the way that you have explained definitely makes it more deeper into the heart that how we can implement it, what can be done to really be expressive about even though we are of that kind, we never put an effort to express ourselves deeper into that way how we want it to be. And it's a very good book, and thank you so much for sharing and filling in the and making it more valuable for this Friday session, Mahendiran. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Thanks for the deeper listening and the deeper connection, with this book. Thank you for sharing.
The practice breathing when you don't agree. That's a great point. That instead of choosing unwanted choices of words, practice breathing is a very good thing that I want to take away. And then, yeah, that's one thing that so and a lot of things were great points. This one thing is something that we can make use of when we learned about breathing and benefits of breathing exercise. This place would be the best place, I think.
Beautiful. Great takeaway. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, others feel free to unmute and share. Yeah, we'll have a detailed Q&A sometime in future on this topic. But yeah, for now, yes, as of now, yes.
No, it's a very thought-provoking, the 20 questions that he asked, and I really like that. I mean, there are so many things that we think we do, and we think we are also aware. For example, the 100% being fully involved in a conversation. Just simply with my child, I'll be distracted with meetings or with the phone sometimes, and I'm trying to respond quickly, and he has something to tell. And of course, when they want to tell, they tell for so long. It's this, then that added to this, and sometimes nothing makes sense. But so we are mentally, we may be even looking at them, I mean, not we. I would say I'm looking at him, but at the back of my mind, I'm thinking about what is next and what are the other things that I was doing on the phone, or I had to call somebody, or I had to finish this work at work, or I had to send out that email, or. So just being there, I think that I was relating a lot of those things with my little son in terms of communication, or being 100% listener or participant. So thank you for the share. I really love the way he writes. I have 2 of his books, and yeah, I hope to finish both one day.
Oh, beautiful. Looking forward to listen from you, Swapna, on one of the books. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Anybody else? times, not just kids, even, adults, need that. And this book, the beauty of it is, looking at a very wider spectrum, right? Like the first chapter itself starts, and which we have been covering in our sessions also in another way. I think you all can relate with certain things. We are, even before reading the book, we're doing it. Actually speaking, I didn't read the book in the past completely. I was just reading along with you all. Even though I've just seen few, here and there, the kind of, mindful, when we read it with the total giving heart, I think, we'll get even more messages. Thank you all for, listening and, being part of this sharing space. We're just reading it together. All right. Anybody else? Just a final call, or if not, we'll just conclude today's session. All right. Until see you again. Chin up, cheer up, and keep shining, and keep loving. Keep receiving the love, keep pouring the love, and let's expand the size of our heart to the size of the universe, and let us have more and more inclusiveness, and more giving more and more, giving the feel of, I am there for you and you're there for me, and together we'll make this world better, our life better and greater. Let's create, co-create more and more good memories. In that, beautiful. Oh, it's a silence. Okay. Thanks, Sapna. And so he has written a lot of books around this. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. The other book is by Eckhart Tolle.
It's a different author. Okay.
Yeah, even he also writes very good. But silence is the one.
The Power of Now.
I was thinking of silence, but I wrote about.
Okay. And he used to, especially during the COVID times also, he used to conduct a lot of sessions that time. All right.
Even when he was passing, he was so peaceful. He spoke about it before his passing too, right?
That's right. Yeah. He's a real Zen master, I'll tell you. And, the messages what he takes, and we would be able to relate with him so well because of the East style of sharing. But at the same time, connecting with this, he was sharing right about the hugging meditation. He initiated it after he receives a hug from a Western thing. Even though there are many things. All right, friends, we'll see you all again in future sessions. Until see you again, continue, keep taking massive actions. Let's all learn together, grow together, be together.